buying a home. It's exciting, sure, but man, it can feel like you're navigating this financial obstacle course, you know? And I don't just mean like scraping together that down payment. We're talking closing costs, those interest rates that seem to have a life of their own. And don't even get me started on the fees that seem to just materialize out of thin air. But hold on, what if I told you there might be a way to hack the system? Like maybe even save a nice chunk of change along the way.
We're diving deep into something called the hybrid agent program. And trust me, this one's a head scratcher. And to guide us through this financial maze, we've got our resident expert in the house ready to break it all down. Now, we've been digging through a mountain of information on this hybrid agent program, brochures, articles, the whole shebang. And let me tell you, they're making some pretty bold claims about these massive savings. So let's separate fact from fiction, shall we?
It's interesting. The traditional real estate world can sometimes feel, I don't know, kind of fragmented. Like you've got your mortgage broker over here doing their thing, your real estate agent over there doing theirs, and it's up to you, the buyer, to try and make sense of it all, right?
Right, like you need to be fluent in real estate to navigate it all.
Exactly. But this hybrid agent program, they're kind of turning that whole model on its head. They're all about streamlining, bringing those mortgage and real estate services under one roof, like a one-stop shop.
Okay, so it's like a financial power couple combining forces to help you buy a home. I like it. But let's get down to brass tacks here. Where are the supposed incredible savings coming from? I mean, they're throwing around some eye-popping numbers like potentially saving up to $100,000. That's like life-changing money for a lot of folks.
Yeah, absolutely. That kind of money can be a game changer, no doubt. And they're achieving this through a few key strategies, one being commission rebates. Basically, they're saying, hey, we're going to give a big chunk of our commission back to you, the buyer. And that rebate goes straight towards your closing costs.
Okay, so right off the bat, that's a pretty sweet deal. But they also claim to be able to secure significantly lower interest rates for their clients. Like, we're talking up to 1.5% lower than what you typically find out there. Now, I'm no math whiz, but I know that even a small dip in that interest rate can translate to massive savings over the life of a mortgage. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. You're spot on. It's not just about, shaving a few bucks off your monthly payment, though. That's always nice. It's about the long game. We're talking potentially tens of thousands of dollars saved over the course of your loan. Let's break it down for a sec. Imagine you've got a $475,000 mortgage, a pretty standard amount these days, right? Now, with an 8% interest rate, which is unfortunately not uncommon right now, you're looking at a monthly payment of around, $3,476.
Ouch, that's a hefty chunk of change.
It is. Now, let's say you go with the hybrid agent program, and they manage to snag you a lower rate, say 6.25%, still competitive, but way more manageable. Suddenly, that monthly payment drops to about $2,920.
Wait, hold the phone. So just by getting a slightly lower interest rate, you're saving how much each month?
We're talking about a cool $556 in savings every single month.
Every single month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, think about that over the life of a 30-year mortgage. You're looking at a grand total of over $200,000 saved.
Okay, you completely lost me at grand total. That's like a down payment on another house.
Yeah.
Or a very, very comfortable early retirement fund. But how do they pull off these lower rates? Do they have a magic wand or some sort of secret handshake with lenders?
I wish it were that simple. It really boils down to strategy and, more importantly, leverage. Remember, they're acting as both your mortgage breaker and your real estate agent. This dual role is key. It gives them way more negotiating power with lenders, for one. Plus, they're like walking encyclopedias when it comes to navigating the intricate world of mortgage products. Trust me, not all loans are created equal.
Right, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
They might, for example, find you a specific loan product, maybe a fixed-rate mortgage, instead of an adjustable rate that aligns perfectly with your financial situation, your goals, and ultimately gets you a much better rate than you could have snagged on your own.
Okay, so it's like having a financial advisor and a real estate agent rolled into one, all fighting for your best interests. But hold on a sec. We can't forget about those points they keep mentioning. Those sound kind of confusing. Can you break those down for us?
Ah, yes, points. Don't worry, they sound more intimidating than they actually are. Think of points as prepaid interest, a little bonus you give the lender up front to secure that lower interest rate for the long haul, and each point is equal to 1% of your total loan amount. So using our trusty $475,000 example, each point would cost you $4,750.
Gotcha. So the more points, the lower the interest rate, but the bigger the upfront cost. Makes sense. But how does the hybrid agent program play into this whole points game?
Well, here's the interesting part. They aim to eliminate the need for buyers to shell out any money for points altogether.
Wait, what? No points at all? How is that even possible?
That's the million-dollar question. They haven't fully revealed their secrets, but they've shared some pretty compelling examples. For instance, they highlighted a case where a buyer would typically have to pay 1.75 points on their $475,000 loan, which works out to like over $8,000. But with the hybrid agent program, they managed to completely wipe out that cost.
Okay, so let me get this straight. We've got potential savings on the commission, lower interest rates, and now we're dodging these points altogether. It's like a trifecta of financial wins. But, and maybe this is just me, saving money is fantastic and all, but it's not the be-all and end-all when buying a home. What about the actual experience? I mean, finding the perfect place can feel like searching for a unicorn sometimes.
Oh, 100%. Buying a home is a huge emotional investment. You're not just buying a property, you're finding a place where you'll create memories, build a life. And I'll give them credit, the hybrid agent program gets that. They're not just about crunching numbers and maximizing savings. They actually walk with you through every step of the home buying journey, providing guidance and support. They're like that knowledgeable friend who just happens to be a real estate and finance guru, guiding you to make smart decisions.
Okay, that's reassuring to know. It would be a shame to save a bunch of money but end up in a place that just didn't feel right. Speaking of finding the right fit, I noticed their materials really hammered home the importance of getting pre-approved for a mortgage before you even start looking at houses. Why is that such a big deal?
Ah, pre-approval. It's like the golden ticket in the home buying world, and here's why. It's all about setting realistic expectations from the get-go, saving yourself from potential heartache down the line. Imagine falling head over heels for a place, only to discover it's, like, way outside your budget. Talk about a buzzkill.
Been there, done that. It's brutal.
Exactly. But getting pre-approved beforehand, it's like setting those financial boundaries early on. That way you can focus your search on homes that you can actually afford, no surprises later.
That makes total sense. It's like knowing your budget before you go on a shopping spree. You're way less likely to fall in love with something you can't actually afford.
Exactly. And on that note, one of the testimonials we came across really highlights the importance of that pre-approval step. Angie, who's a surgery technician, she raved about how the hybrid agent program helped her secure pre-approval quickly and easily, and said it made her feel so much more confident and prepared going into the whole house hunting process.
Confidence is key, especially in this market. Oh, and remember, Andrea, the graphic designer we mentioned earlier, she was a first-time home buyer, and she actually said that the hybrid agent program's emphasis on pre-approval saved her from a potential financial disaster. She was this close to starting her search looking at houses that were way outside her price range.
Gee, those testimonials right there speak volumes about the value of their guidance and expertise, especially for first-time home buyers who might be feeling, like, totally overwhelmed by the whole process. Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement and start browsing listings that are, like, way out of your reach. But trust me, having that pre-approval in hand, it's like having a roadmap guiding you towards properties that actually make financial sense.
And probably saving you from a whole lot of heartbreak along the way. So it sounds like this hybrid agent program is really onto something with this whole pre-approval thing.
Absolutely. And it ties into their overall philosophy of transparency and communication, which really shines through in all their materials.
Speaking of shining through, did you catch Juan's story? He's the educator we mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah. Juan's experience is a perfect example of how this program can work wonders for those who might be, initially a little hesitant or skeptical.
Because, let's be real, when something sounds this good, it's natural to wonder, what's the catch?
Right. Like, is this too good to be true?
Yeah.
But Juan was initially like, not so sure about this whole hybrid agent thing. But then, after going through the process, he became a total convert. He said the program's commitment to clear communication and, like, laying everything out on the table, it really made him feel empowered to make informed decisions every step of the way.
That's awesome. It's like they're not just trying to sell you something, they're actually trying to educate you and help you make the best choice for your unique situation.
Exactly. And that's something you don't always find in the real estate world, where it can sometimes feel like you're being, sold to rather than guided.
Okay, so let's say someone listening is thinking, all right, I'm convinced. Sign me up. Where do I even begin? What's the next step?
Well, the great thing is the hybrid agent program makes it super easy to take that first step. They really encourage potential clients to schedule a free consultation. No strings attached, just a chance to chat, get all your questions answered, and see if this program really aligns with your needs and your goals.
It's like a test drive before you commit to buying the car.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And during that consultation, they'll take a deep dive into your financial situation, what you're looking for in a home, your budget, the whole 9 yards, and they'll be able to tell you then and there, hey, this is a great fit for you. Or, you know what, based on your circumstances, this other approach might be a better option.
So they're not just trying to shoehorn everyone into the same program, they're taking a personalized approach, which is super refreshing.
And this is where their combined expertise in both real estate and finance really shines. They can provide that holistic perspective, considering your financial well-being as well as your homeownership dreams.
It's like having a financial advisor and a real estate agent all rolled into one.
Exactly. It's about finding you the right house at the right price while also making sure you're making sound financial decisions for your future.
This all sounds pretty incredible, but I'm guessing it's not for absolutely everyone, right?
You're right. While this hybrid agent program offers some seriously compelling advantages, it's not like a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right, because everyone's financial situation is different, everyone's goals are different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, someone who's looking for a quick flip, buy a house, fix it up, sell it quickly for a profit. They might not benefit as much from this program as someone who's focused on the long-term savings of homeownership.
Right, because those long-term savings are where this program really seems to shine.
Exactly. Or someone who's looking to do a cash-out refinance, where they're trying to tap into their home equity. That might not be the ideal scenario for this program either.
So it's all about finding the approach that aligns best with your individual circumstances and what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. It's like there's no one right answer for everyone. It's about finding what works best for you.
And that's what we're all about here, right? Empowering you with the information you need to make smart decisions. Well, this deep dive into the hybrid agent program has definitely been eye-opening. It seems like it could be a fantastic option for a lot of people out there, especially those who are maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed by the traditional home buying process.
Agreed. I think it's a really innovative approach, and it's great to see a program that's putting the buyer's best interests front and center.
Absolutely. And remember those potential savings we talked about. We're talking up to $100,000. That's not chump change, people.
Yeah.
Think about what that kind of money could mean for you. Maybe it's finally taking that dream vacation you've always wanted.
Oh, a vacation on a beach somewhere. Sign me up.
Right. Or maybe it's investing in your education, starting your own business, or getting a head start on retirement.
The possibilities are endless.
And that's what's so exciting about this. It's not just about saving money, it's about what that money can do for you, how it can change your life. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a little something to ponder. If you were to unlock those thousands of dollars in potential savings, what dream or goal would you pursue? What would you do with that newfound financial freedom?
Now that's a question worth thinking about.
It is. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive. Thanks for joining us for another fascinating exploration of, well, all things home buying and beyond. Until next time, happy house hunting.
Yeah, some serious food for thought, right?
Absolutely. Now, while we've been singing the praises of this hybrid agent program, and for good reason, I do want to emphasize that it's not a magic bullet. It's not going to be the perfect fit for absolutely everyone, and that's okay.
Right. It's like any financial strategy. It has its pros and cons, and it's all about figuring out if those align with your specific circumstances.
Exactly. So who do you think this program is most beneficial for? Who should be racing to schedule that free consultation?
Well, I think first-time homebuyers, especially in this crazy market, could really benefit from the hybrid agent program's guidance and support.
Makes sense. It can be so overwhelming trying to navigate the process for the first time, and having that expert in your corner fighting for your best interests could be invaluable.
Absolutely. And then, of course, anyone who's really focused on those long-term savings.
Those folks who are playing the long game with homeownership.
Exactly, because that's where this program really shines, with those commission rebates, those potentially lower interest rates, and the whole no points thing, those savings can really add up over time.
They really can. It's like they're helping you make your money work harder for you in the home buying process.
Exactly. And I think for a lot of people, knowing that they squeezed every penny out of the deal, that they got the best possible terms, it can bring a lot of peace of mind.
Peace of mind is priceless, especially when you're making such a big financial decision.
Absolutely. Now, on the flip side, someone who's maybe looking to flip a property quickly, this might not be the ideal strategy for them.
Right, because they're not necessarily in it for those long-term savings.
Exactly. Or someone who's looking to do a cash-out refinance where they're trying to access their home equity that might not be the best fit for this particular program either.
So it's all about assessing your individual goals, your financial situation, and seeing if this hybrid agent approach aligns with what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. It's about finding the strategy that works best for you, for your unique circumstances.
And that's what we're all about here, right? Empowering you with the information you need to make smart, informed decisions.
100%.
Well, this deep dive into the hybrid agent program has definitely been eye-opening, to say the least.
It's a fascinating concept for sure.
It really is, and it just goes to show that there are always new and innovative approaches emerging in the real estate world. So if you're feeling like the traditional methods might not be the right fit for you, don't be afraid to explore alternative options.
Exactly. Think outside the box, do your research, and find what works best for you.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the hybrid agent program. A huge thank you to our resident financial guru for breaking it all down for us.
Always happy to geek out about real estate and finances.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us for another fascinating exploration of all things home buying and beyond. We'll see you next time.